Welcome back, guys. So obviously, my voice is not yet back, and but I still have to make this weekly analysis video, right? I couldn't do it for the past 3 days or something like that. My voice has been a mess, right? But it's kind of better today, so let me try and let's see what happens, right? But just pardon it if you can hear something. Just try your best and probably ask with the time frame, or yeah, with the time frame, so that maybe I can just type it out for you to actually see it well, right? So that's just it. So let's dive into it. Now, obviously, last week was very good, right? Last week we had about four trades from Monday to Thursday. We were selling throughout what the week, right? That was for the 714 method. We were selling throughout from Monday to Thursday because the trend was in a downtrend, right? It was obviously a very good thing. So it was only Friday that we actually bought, and Friday the buy too was very good. If you've watched, I posted a video about that. I actually got a loss in one trade, but the 714 method actually saved me, right, from making a loss throughout that day, right, because that was the only one trade that I took, and the 714 making it was two, right. So that's just it. So let's dive into it. If you've obviously been on this channel for a while, you realize that every Sundays I post these videos, but just that my voice is kind of a mess right now. That's why I couldn't. So just try your best and do what, subscribe, because every Sunday we'll be doing what, we'll be posting these videos, and I'll be giving out new strategies, right? I have this strategy that I've been trying to perfect. When it's done, I'll try my best and do what, make you guys use it also. Then we'll see how it can go, right. So that's just by the way. Now let's dive in. So obviously, when you look at Monday, we were in a what, an uptrend, right? So you know the trail already. I don't even have to say that much. We're in an uptrend, and if we're in an uptrend, you just try your best and do what, find your levels. One, you can find your what, your support and resistance. Two, you can find your what, your other block. And three, you can find your what, your fair value gap, right. So obviously these three things are just what we need. And most of the times, the reason why I analyze the trend for you, or I say you should just analyze the trend a little bit, is because sometimes the 714 method will be in an uptrend, and the uptrend is still very, very powerful, right? Or it's just the beginning of that uptrend. So indirectly, if you are entering inside a cell, it wouldn't work for you unless you use the reverse 714 method, right? That's analyzing the trade. Then you understand that, okay, this is a fair value gap right here, or probably somewhere price might just put it for the 714 method, then we'll reverse all the way up. Then you are waiting for it to come down here, then you do what, you enter into your buy, right. So that's just the reason why I've been doing what, analyzing it. But obviously this week, price was just simple to us, right. So that was it. That's just the only things that we were looking for. Now if you had just searched for it, it was just already there. It was a very simple thing. All you needed was just a what, a confirmation, right. This was just our other block right here. Pretty much simple. That was our last high right there, as usual. And you can see the price actually did what, tested this level once, twice, three times, and all of it, you can see this selling pressure from that level, right. So obviously this was just our last high. Now, if you do not want to enter into a trade here, because you did not get any what, confirmation, you could have just waited for a confirmation, right? Now, I waited for a confirmation. My confirmation was pretty simple. This right here is a nice buy, right? So this right here is a nice buy. If price could just do what, push all the way through this. If I see a what, a bearish engulfing candle, right, just pushing through this whole candle right here, I'll be entering inside my sell, right. So obviously this right here was just my confirmation. I was just waiting for price to just push down and close beneath this, and I'll enter into a sell. Simple as that. I wasn't going to do what, I wasn't going to wait. If price just push through it, I'm going to sell. That's it, right. So pretty much simple if you look at it. Now let's look at the trade and see what happens. So it was obviously a very simple trade. Actually, it was obviously a very simple trade, except for people who fear seeing what, their account in danger, right. So they would have actually gotten out of the trade, and they wouldn't have gotten anything from this trade, right. So this right here was my entry. It could have been your entry as well, because the 714 meters was very, very good this past week, right. So obviously, I just need to do what? this a little bit deeper, right? Because all right, so this is all right. So when you look at this, so this right here was my entry, and I've told you guys whether it's an order block. I got in around somewhere here when we closed. So I told you guys whether it's an order block or it's a fair value gap, just try your best and put your stop loss just above it, just a little bit, right? If price could come all the way through this and close above this, meaning this whole level right here is violated, right? Price is going up, price is not coming down again. So this right here was my entry with my first TP at this level right here. Pretty much simple. You can see that there was some serious buys around this level right here. So my first TP was here, and my second TP was obviously somewhere here. Now my second TP was here. I thought price could actually push to this level right here. So my second TP was here because what I was thinking is if price could push through this, then there's no need for price to push all the way up from this level again. So that was it. This was the trade that I actually entered. It was a very simple trade actually. It wasn't any big deal. So let's see what actually happened. So just within some couple of minutes, my first TP got hit, but there was this retracement, right? That will actually get people out of the trade. So this was the retracement right here. So as you can see, obviously, you can see the retracement all the way back into it. Now at this point, I did not bring my stop loss all the way down to here. My stop loss was actually here, so that's why it did not take me out. It would have taken me out as well, but it did not take me out, right? Then we did what? We just pushed all the way down because price was just pushing down throughout the week. So it was a very simple trade. If you were lucky, let me say, if you were lucky, you wouldn't have gotten out, but if you were not lucky, you would have gotten out, right? But that's it. It was just a very simple trade. You obviously know that even if you hadn't entered into the trade to get about 3 TPs, right, you still could have just maximized your account size from here to here. Now, the reason why people still blow their accounts is because your winning is still the same as your losses, right? So, under normal circumstance, if right here, let me show you this. So, under normal circumstance, if I'm going to win a trade from this level all the way to here, when you look at most of my trades, I use like 6 lot size because my account is actually kind of big. So I use 6 lot size with some trades. And you see me in some trades and I'll use something like a 25 lot size, right? Or I'll use something like a 30 watt lot size. Now a lot of people don't understand this. This is the difference between you being a break even trader and a successful trader, because if I'm going to be using 6 lot sizes and every win I'm going to make it with 6 lot size. Every lose I'm still going to make it with what? 6 lot sizes. Under normal circumstance, this doesn't make sense. It means your account is not growing, right? Your account is rather reducing. But if your wins are what, let's say 12 lot sizes wins, right? So your wins are 12 lot sizes wins and your losses are what? 6 lot sizes wins, right? So indirectly you still have what? 6 profits, right? Do you understand the concept? So anytime you know that a trade is doing what? A trade is going to give you a lot of money. You don't understand. Every trader, whether you are a beginner trader, you are a pro trader, there are times that you see this type of trades, just a very nice trade like that, just pushing all the way down. There are times that you see it. Now within these times, you don't do what? You don't enter into 6 lot size. No, you enter into a lot size that your account can do what? Your max leverage, right? Use your max what? Leverage. So let's just do this. So you use your max leverage. When you use your max leverage, that's the only time that's what will happen. You end up realizing that price is very, very good to you, and your account is going to go from what? Being, let's say, $100 account to a what? To 2,000 or $3,000 account. With that, you've maximized it already, and you can now start taking your what? Your 6 lot size again. Your six. Do you understand the concept? So that's just it. Now let's push through to what? Tuesday and see what actually happened, right? So on Tuesday, we're obviously in an uptrend as well. If you look at it, on Tuesday, we're in an uptrend. Now, on Tuesday, I actually got in a very serious what mess because price actually entered into my stop loss. Like it did not actually hit my stop loss, but it entered into my stop loss for a very long time before it actually got out. It was kind of like two candles or one candle, but still, let's look at it. So obviously we're in an uptrend. We're looking for what a downtrend, right? Pretty much simple. That was it. Now the reason why price entered into my stop loss was because of this. Now look at this. It's a very simple thing. This right here was a what? A very very strong level, right? It was a very strong resistance level. Now what does this 714 method say? We use three things, right? Fair value gap, support or resistance, and what? An order block. Now what I used was just this high right here because I obviously think price actually had a very nice pull down from there. So price wouldn't go beyond it. Even if price is going to go beyond it, then price is just going to hit this level right here, then will drop right. So that was my perception. On Tuesday, this right here was my entry. So I got into the trade around somewhere here because I love the what the 50% levels of what any candle any trend. I just love the 50% levels because they're just very, very good, right? So this was my entry. I actually put my stop loss above this level on this candle right here. So it was on uh, this candle right here. So yeah, that's just almost at the same level. So this right here was my stop loss, right? And this right here was my entry. Now, obviously, just within some couple of minutes, price did what pick my entry and I was just very very happy, but it reversed all the way back into it again, coming to test this level right here. So it was a very simple thing. As you can see, price tested it. It was very very close to my stop loss, but it did not take me out because of spread. The spread did not actually get to it. So price just reversed from there, and I would have had a loss on that day, even though price would have actually gone down. But I would have had a loss, and if this was a loss, I probably would have waited for price to actually just do what broke through this level right here. Then I'll find my entry just above it. Which is where liquidity will be just above it around this level right here and enter into a sell, right? But that was just it. Price did not hit my stop loss, but it actually went really, really close to it. And that was it. Now, my first TP was actually somewhere here around this level right here. And my second TP was, so my second TP was actually somewhere down. I can't actually see it on this time frame, but let me see if I could see it on this. It was around somewhere here, this level. I kept it below this. My second TP was around somewhere here. So that was what I was doing on Tuesday. It was a short trade, but a good trade because this right here was my second TP, right? A pretty simple trade. So let's see what happened. Now you could have been in this trade for a very long time because if you look at it, you see that my first and second TP actually got hit, right? But I still could have been on this trade. But obviously, if I see something like this, I've been saying it a lot. That's a change of character right there. I'm getting out of the trade. Pretty much simple. I'm not waiting for anybody. And I'm not waiting for any trend to move again. I'm just getting out easy and fast, right? So you can see the price actually reversed all the way up. So that's just it. Now, with this, we actually got something out from it, right? So it was a very simple trade. Now, let's go to what Wednesday and see what actually happened, right? So let's look at Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, we were in a downtrend, right? Now, I'm going to analyze this and I'll also show you the reason why in the previous videos I've been focusing on teaching you guys or trying to make you guys do what analysis before entering into a trade. Sometimes this 714 method is just going to give you a very nice trade, but sometimes if you don't use just a little bit of technical analysis or a little bit of reading price action, you are not going to understand what to do and you are going to end up entering into a wrong trade, right? So obviously, if we had look at what Wednesday, so let's look at it. Wednesday we're in a downtrend, a pretty nice what downtrend, right? So obviously we are looking to be in a what an uptrend when the 714 method is done. So that was it. Now with this, you look at your level. So this right here was a what a very strong level, right? This right here was a very strong level. So if we draw it out, you realize that that was a very strong level, right? It goes all the way back to this level right here. So let me just push it through. I'm trying to grab this, it's not coming. Okay, so we realize that price was just hitting through this level, right? Bouncing off it. Now, when this normally happens, people think that when price comes all the way back to it again and bounce, price can just push all the way up through it. It's just telling you that there's a lot of liquidity down here, or price is just trying to break through this level, and eventually price will do what? Break through this level. So even if you are going to be entering into a trade on this level, you know that price will actually bounce, but it might not go as far as you think, right? So obviously, if we are going to use a what, just a normal trade, or if we are going to use just the normal 714 trend analysis, right? This would have been the level that we would have done what entered into our trade. So this would have been our entry right here. So that's just it. And we'll put our stop loss just below this level right here. And we'll be targeting this level as our first what TP right here. And probably we'll multiply it and get our what our second TP right there, right? So let me just put this. So our second TP right there. So if we're going to use this a normal trend analysis, ignoring that price was what trying to break through this level, but we're just going to use a normal way. We just wanted price to bounce through here and we enter into a trade. This was what was going to happen, right? So let's look at this trade. So obviously price did come to it, as you can see. Price did come to it. It would have taken your trade. Let's see what happened after that. So you would have gotten a very simple yet nice push, right? As you can see, a very simple yet nice push. But I did not enter into this trade, not yet, actually, no, because I know that price was hitting this level way too much, right? One, two, three, and we just came to it for the fourth time. Price was trying its possible best to do what? To break through this level. And when this level is broken through, what happens? We are dropping massively. Simple as that. So this is what you would have gotten. Just this simple thing would have been what you would have gotten. If you are someone who actually gets out of trades early, you would have gotten out of this trade. And mind you, this trade right here could have made somebody what 20k, just this small trade right here. That's why you always have to learn how to maximize your account. It could have made somebody 20k or 40k, right? Because they would have bought huge from here and price will just push just this little bit and they'll make that amount, right? So it wasn't a bad trade, but you wouldn't have gotten huge amount from it. But if you had take your time and do what and analyze the trade, you would have realized that price was just screaming. Price was just trying its possible best to do what? To break through this level right here. Just this whole movement was just trying to do what? Break through this level right here. Simple as that. So I was just waiting to see what happens after that. Now price they pull back in just a very simple way. We had this push again. Now, when we came back the next time, I got into my trade. Price was inside this level, just around here. With this trend, I got into my trade. I wasn't going to hesitate on anything. I got into my trade because I know that what the uptrend was kind of what reducing. You see, this was our last high. Our last high, you can see that it's reduced, meaning price is eventually what's trying to push through. So I got into my trade on this candle right here. That was it. I wasn't going to stress myself. Now this right here was my last, my stop loss around this, just above this level right here, and this right here was my entry. I entered, and trust me, this trade was very very huge. I even gave this trade on the the Telegram channel. I gave this trade out. It was a very very huge trade, right? So let's see what happened. Now, with this, we know for sure that price actually just broke through this level. Now, those people who don't like entering into trades when the trend is already going, please try your best and start doing that. Trading doesn't mean you should do what you should actually enter into the trade just because it's breaking through here. If I know how to enter into a trade like that, I'll enter into a trade. There are many ways to enter into a trade, right? Somebody could have understood like just this level alone could have been somebody's trade. How would they enter into a trade from that level alone? This right here is a what? A trend line. As you can see, I can't draw it well, but that was a trend line. When the trend line is finally broken, you enter into your trade. To me, this right here was my what? My resistance level. When it's broken through my big support level, rather, when the support is broken through, I'm entering into the trade. Or when price is reducing in the way it's pushing all the way up. That means when the buyers are reducing, I know that what price is now focusing on what selling all the way down. Now you still could have entered into a trade around this level, or you just come to this level right here with this pullback mark here. When price do what? When price come all the way down and break through this level and you enter into your trade again, right? Pretty much simple. Now, this was a very, very big trade. Trust me, it wasn't a small trade. So with this, you could have just found your level and do what? And enter into your trade, right? Simple. So as you can see, this was a very big trade. I'm telling you, it was just a very, very nice trade. This wasn't all. If you probably think this was all, no, this wasn't all. We actually dropped down a few more. As you can see, we dropped down a few more. Now, my first TP actually got hit around somewhere here, but my second TP was, I don't know, around somewhere. Trend actually went very, very close to my second TP, but it did not actually hit my second TP and it pushed all the way up again. I had to close my second TP on the next day or something like that. Yeah. So that was it. This was just a very long trade, as you can see. Look at it. I told you that this was a very long trade. Very, very long. It was marvelous, right? On Wednesday was marvelous. Very, very big trade. I gave the signal on the what on the Telegram channel. I gave the signal. So let's look at Thursday. Now, obviously on Thursday we're in a downtrend, right? So on the video that I was actually doing what explaining the bigger trade that I actually gave on the Telegram channel. That was the big sell on what Wednesday. I actually analyzed Thursday's 714 method even before the 714 method actually manifested, right? I actually analyzed it and I was like, on Thursday, if you are going to use this 714 method, like just the way it is without trend analysis, you are not going to get anything from it, right? Because under normal circumstance, when you look at this, you obviously realize that we're in an uptrend. So let's just pick it from here. This was our last high that just got broken, right? This right here was our last low. Then this last high of ours just got broken from this level right here. So meaning this right here was our last low. Simple as that. Now that last low was what broken through. Indirectly, it's telling you that we are entering into a downtrend. We are no longer in an uptrend. Obviously, when you also look at it, you realize that there was this level right here that price actually tested just twice, right? So if you look at it, you see that level right there. So price actually tested this level about two times, right? So if you push this level all the way up, you see that it was a valid level. This was the level that price rejected, went all the way up through it, retested it again, came and retested it on the second level, then we broke through it. When you look closely after that breakthrough, you realize that that was a retest. So let's put this on it. So you realize that that was another retest. As you can see, we were just retesting this level right here. That was our change of character right there. Simple as that. So in that video, I was actually saying that there's no way price is going to give us the 714 method is going to give us a good trade because if we're in a downtrend we are expecting an uptrend. Now, there's no way in this circumstance or in this scenario that price is going to give us a very good trade unless we reverse it. That is what unless we are just waiting for price to drop down, which is giving us something like this, a break of structure, and we get into the trade or probably another one again. Some people can also barge into the trade, right? But if you actually know trend analysis, you would have realized that we are already in a downtrend as of this moment because this was our breakthrough right here. Now I was actually already in a trade around this level right here because When we broke through just this level right here, I got into the trade. I wasn't going to waste my time. I got into the trade around somewhere here. This whole reversal thing was in my stop loss. Then the price just came through it again. Then what retested it and we fall right. So that's why sometimes I say that trend analysis when the 714 method is not making sense or if it's not going according to what the trend, just use a little bit of trend analysis. You get it all the way right, and you get it very very simple. You could have also used what let's say uh, a trend what's a trend line, right? So you could have also used a trend line to actually realize that price was going down. Either you use this right here or use this right here, right? So if you are going to use this right here, you obviously realize that this was the trend, right? So you could have used trend analysis to. It's a very simple thing, or you could have used even from the original source, right? So if you are going to use a bigger trend analysis, you could have used it from the original source, which is something like this. So you obviously realize that price hit it once right here, simple, twice right here, simple. Then price came all the way to the third round, hit it, just a small retracement, then we broke through. There's no way in this scenario price is going up. So you shouldn't have even expected price to go up after this because we were going down, right? So you could have just entered into the trade. You see this pull up, then it's just pushing all the way down, right? So you could have just waited for another candle to just close below, just like this, for instance. Then you enter into your trade just on that candle. Pretty much simple. Because you know that price is going down. Obviously, there's no way price will go up after this. Then you put your stop loss just above this. Your entry should be here. Then your first TP should be what? At the second point of price, what? Test, right? So the second point that actually tested the trend line should be your first TP, and your second TP will probably be either somewhere here or you use this level right here. Or you look for a level that has been broken through and tested, which is just around this level right here. You can see price breaking through it, and we have just this small retest, right? So you could have used this level too as well. But I was in this trade for a very yeah, it was actually a very nice down move, right? So that was just it. Pretty much simple. And you just wait for price to do what? Push all the way down. It wasn't a big deal on this day. It was just a simple trade. You see that price will just actually hit your first TP or second TP. Pretty much simple. If you're having a third trade and it happens to be somewhere here, then around this time you might have already pulled your stop loss to break even, not even break even to somewhere here. For instance, your stop loss should have already been somewhere here because you need this amount, right? So simple as that. And you just watch your trade push. If you see a change of character, then you get out of the trade. So obviously, if you look at this, you see that price has changed a character right here. So we'll push it up, calm down. But sometimes these are just internal change of characters, right? But you still could have gotten out of the trade with your peace of mind, and that's just it. Pretty much simple. I would have gotten out of the trade already. Simple as that. That was just it. So you could have been inside the street all the way down to where's the change of character? So all the way down to this change of character right here. If you look at it, price push all the way up, breaking through this high right here. So you could have ended your trade here with this being your entry. You could have ended your trade there. So this was it on what Thursday. It was a very simple trade. Yet if you weren't using what either trend analysis or just something small just to understand the way the trend is moving, you wouldn't have understood this, right? Because this right here was just a clear example, a very simple trick, right? You should have just understand that no, we are no longer in an uptrend. If you're going to use a trend analysis or a trend line, it would have been very, very simple for you because I actually got in around somewhere here when this move happened. I got in because I know that sellers were actually coming in. I was having this level about this here. I was having some 26, right? I was like, if price reversed from this level, I think this was it. Yeah. So I was like, if price reverse from this level, then we are going down. And lucky on my side, what's happened? Price actually reversed from that side. So when I just see this strong, what bearish engulfing candle, I just did what I got into my trade immediately after that closes. Simple. Now people have problem with seeing price actually push back into their stop loss like this. I don't have that problem because um, when you trade for a very long time, you realize that it can never be perfect, right? So you always expect what losses. Expect price to do what come all the way up and hit your stop loss. You also expect price to go all the way down and hit your what your TPs, right? Simple as that. So if my stop loss is going to be somewhere here or probably somewhere here, I should expect this type of move, right? Now you could even get into a trade around this level because price is at is what discounted level, right? So that's the set. Now let's go to Friday and see what's actually happened. So if we look at Friday, you obviously realize that we're in the simplest trade, right? I was actually having a loss before this trade. Actually, I was already having a loss because I actually got into a trade around somewhere here, which just reversed back. I did not calculate everything very well because this is just a long video because this is going to be just me talking rubbish because this is not even part of the analysis, right? But let me just say this. So this right here was the trend that actually broke through this. So this was our last low. So indirectly we are still in an uptrend. We are just pulling liquidity from down here. Because I did not actually enter into the trade, I did not actually analyze it well. I got into a sell that's here, which immediately reversed and took me out around 2K, right? So just after that, I closed the trade and I realized that, oh yeah, we were already in a 714 method. Then let me use the 714 method and get something out of today, right? Because I was actually going to being a loss. So that's the set. Now the 714 method was just a very simple thing. We were having that let me redo this. That one was kind of a mess. So we're in that trend that I called a V trend, which is we started the 714 method from here, came all the way down to this level and went all the way back to that level again. So when this happens, what do? You know your levels already. I've been saying this. You use the lowest parts and the highest part of the 714 method to do what to enter into your trade. So if price breaks through here, you look for something either like this, a break of structure, you enter into your trade. If price breaks through this level, we look for a break of structure and enter into our trade, right? Pretty much simple. So that was just it. So you were just supposed to do what? Try your best and mark these two levels. As you can see, this was the high of the 714 method, and right here was somewhere the low, right? So let me just do this. Now it's not perfect, but I guess you guys get it. So this right here was the low, right? So that was just it, a pretty much simple thing. Now obviously there was some little news, so price did has some manipulation because at first we broke through this level. Now I know a lot of people would have gotten into this trade already, but I've said it already. If you enter into the trade around this level right here, your stop loss should always be below this level right here because price can easily just pull back into here just to pull liquidity, right? So, but just after that, was struggling to actually go up, but when it broke through here, it just pulled back just a little bit with some serious momentum, right? Because there was news price just had this serious bullish, bearish what candles, right? We pushed all the way down from here. Then we had this strong, what this very, very strong buy. This was where I actually got into my trade. It's like I have this trade on the channel, right? I don't actually know. It's like it's on the channel or something like. So this was where I got into the trade because this was the finalized entry, right? You see that price did not actually do anything here. It just came all the way down for liquidity, and news pushed it all the way up. We were already in an uptrend, so we just go up. Now, obviously, I entered into my trade just here. I entered into my trade. There was this one candle that pulled back. That was it right here. So when it pulled back, I got into my trade. Now, obviously, this right here was my stop loss. You could have also gotten into the trade even earlier on because when we broke through here, you would have gotten into the trade already. But your stop loss still should have been somewhere here. Your stop loss should have been somewhere below here. So, under normal circumstance, if you know your account size is not huge, because if you are going to enter into the trade like this should have been your stop loss below this, so that price will not actually hit it, right? So, if your account size is not huge, right? If your account size is not huge, pardon me, if your account size is not huge, just do what? Enter inside a small what loss size. When you enter inside a small loss size, you do what? A very simple thing. Well, all this is done, or even if this is not done and prices start pushing, when price pushes through this level right here, you enter into a bigger loss size because you know we are now going up. You enter into a bigger, much more bigger loss size, right? Simple as that. So that was what you should have done actually, but this right here was my entry. Pretty much simple. And it was a good trade. We actually went all the way up. I wasn't having any expectations for this actually. The only place I actually wanted price to reach, it did not reach there on my second TP, but that was good. That was a good trade. So let's see what happened. Now obviously we're already in an uptrend, so price was just going to push all the way up. There wasn't any excuse, right? As you can see. Price was just pushing all the way up. It was a very simple trade. Um very simple, trust me, a very simple trade. Nobody actually failed to enter into this trade. Actually, on that day, I don't know, probably maybe some people would have already entered here, then their stop loss will be somewhere here. So you would have gotten taken out, right? But this was the trade. It was a very simple trade, yet very powerful. Now, these retracements were happening, and so these retracements were happening, and my stop loss was just around somewhere here. So the price couldn't actually reach it, so I had to close my trade because it was still happening for a while. The retracements were just happening for a while. I closed my trade, right? Pretty much easy, pretty much simple. So that was just it on Friday. It was a very simple trade, actually. Friday was the only day that we actually bought, and it was a very simple trade. But the rest of the days were just some easy trades, except for what was it Tuesday or something like that. Yeah, Wednesday too was pretty much easy, as well as Thursday. Yeah, this whole week we're just having some simple trades, right? And again, sorry for my voice. I know it's very horrible around this time. I don't know, the medications are kind of not doing their work very well because I wanted it to be done by now, but still, I'm still here, right? So that's just by the way. Let's see what happens within this week. Yeah, let's see what happens within this week, right? So I'll see you guys in the next.